No matter where you are in Canada, you have probably seen something like these. Drawings and messages of hope are being displayed in windows and on sidewalks across the country. Art has been the choice for many trying to pass the time indoors while physically distancing, but it also has mental health benefits too. For more on this, let's turn to Rapinder Kaur. She's a registered art therapist, and we've reached her at her home in Brampton, Ontario. So Rapinder, what's your reaction to all of the art that we have been seeing on sidewalks and people's windows across the country?
Yeah, hello, Andrew. Yeah, I mean, I'm an art therapist, so I'm a little bit biased. I think it's absolutely wonderful and really fantastic. And I actually think it goes beyond being an antidote for boredom. When a child has an experience of making a mark or picking a color or creating a wonderful picture, they get a chance to experience making an impact and making a change in the world. And given that most children these days are not able to go to school, they can't go to the playground, they're not able to see their friends or play with their friends, and they're not able to see extended family members or their grandparents, I think it can be really empowering when they have this experience of making a change.
And so why do you think we've seen so many people picking up drawing and painting?
Yeah, I think that there's this innate creativity that's inside of all of us. I work with all ages, but when I'm working with adults and I might be doing an art therapy workshop at a corporate setting, all the adults in the room will say, I'm not an artist, I can't draw, and they get really, they get quite anxious. And yet when they engage in the process, and it really is the process of making something. So that making something could be painting, it could be drawing, it could be raiding your recycling bin and putting things together, or like we've seen, it could be going outside on the sidewalk and drawing something beautiful and writing a message. It really does make us feel, it changes our energy level, it improves our mood, and it gives us a sense of satisfaction that we created something, that we made a mark.
Well, let me tell you, I'm the one that always loses in my family with these guess the drawing games because I'm that horrible drawer. No one can understand what it is that I'm trying to draw. But for children, how do you think expressing themselves artistically help them cope with the physical isolation?
Yeah, I think that engaging in the process of making something, it's a right brain process, and our right brain really allows us to tap into this idea of endless possibilities. And so even though there's much uncertainty, there may be a lot of scary big feelings for children like anxiety, worrying about family members who may or may not be impacted by COVID. This idea that there can be other possibilities is really, again, really meaningful and really powerful for them. And I think in addition to that, they get to engage with their world. I almost think that what I find so beautiful about this is that it's sort of a beautiful act of defiance. It's sort of saying, okay, so I can't go to the playground, I'm not allowed to go to school, but hey, I'm going to make something and I'm going to put it out my window and I'm going to let everybody see it. So I think it's a way for them to engage with the outside, even though our social interaction looks very different.
Yeah, that is definitely a nice thought. But, as you say, there could be some kids, maybe some younger kids that are feeling anxious right now that maybe aren't able to express their feelings exactly, but they can draw their feelings, right?
Absolutely.
Is that something that parents can look out for?
Absolutely. And oftentimes when we're engaging in that process, you see a shift in children's, in their energy level and their ability to focus. And I think that if parents can get down with them as well and create together, I think, again, that can be just a really wonderful family activity. And the adults themselves will also find that shifted energy and that uplifting of mood. And then together, I think that they can then better respond to the child as well, if they're really just being in that moment and connecting, and that's what it's really about.
Rapinder, it was really good to speak to you today. Thank you very much.
You as well. Thank you so much. Take care.
Rapinder Kaur is a registered art therapist in Brampton, Ontario. As the coronavirus pandemic